Welcome back to the channel. I'm Reed, and this is Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania. Today I want to address something that came up in previous videos I did for the Paul Gilbert PG-14 distortion, and before that for the Tone City Rabia Masad Wild Fro pedal. And that is, why don't I use a noise gate when I'm demonstrating pedals? It's a fair question, so I'm going to address that here. This video will be all talking and a tech demonstration, no playing. So if that's not what you're interested in, feel free to move on. I have enough videos up on the channel that I think it's quite possible people have not seen my introductory video. So just to reiterate, I'm a home player. I don't play in bars, I don't play at weddings, I'm not a touring professional, I don't own a studio. I play in my man cave for an audience of one. Now I do play out. I play one concert a year, in fact, but most of the time I play for my own enjoyment. So if people don't like my tone or they don't like the way I play, more power to them. That's not the point. What I created this channel for was to reach out to other home players. It's easy to find videos where professional guitarists are shooting in studios and they demonstrate distortion pedals and the pedal is completely quiet. Now this is a philosophical thing because to a professional, they're just going to say, well, you shouldn't have that noise in there, so I'm going to edit it out. They may have a noise gate that they're playing through, they may have a noise gate in their software, but they're not going to have that background hum. Well, I also have a noise gate, and there's a noise gate in my software, and I could also edit that out. So why don't I? Well, it's because, again, if you're a home player, I don't think it should be presumed that you have a noise suppression pedal. If you watch a video of somebody playing a pedal and it's dead silent, and you go out and buy that pedal and you hook it up and it adds 20 decibels of hum, and that's not an exaggeration, your first thought may be, is this pedal broken? Well, it's not broken. The fact is the people demonstrating the pedal didn't show you what that pedal sounds like. Now, Paul Gilbert has done a lot of pedal demonstration videos, and I love Paul Gilbert. I am not bagging on Paul Gilbert in any way. I've loved them since the 80s. He's a phenomenal player and seems like a fantastic human being. I want to sit down and have a beer with Paul Gilbert, but I think his pedal is noisy. Now, in his demonstration videos of it, it's not noisy. And I remember an interview with Paul in a previous pedal board build. I think it was the one with TC Electronics, but I didn't go back to watch it, where he said, my version of a noise gate is I turn the pedal off when I'm not using it. You know, fair enough. You always have the option of reaching down and turning off the pedal. That doesn't change the fact that the pedal is still noisy when it's operating. So here's what I've done for a demonstration. I've built a pedal board that has 10 distortion pedals. I've just got them hooked up in series, one pedal to the next, and it's all running through my noise gate and MXR Noise Clamp. Now that's not the best noise gate on the market, and it's not the worst noise gate on the market, but it does what it's supposed to do. It suppresses the noise. So I don't use it in my videos because I think that you should be able to hear what that noise sounds like. You should be able to compare it to other pedals and see the relative noise levels. Also, I think it's more a review of the noise gate, how fast it comes in and gates out the noise, whether it changes your tone or not. And if you're a home player, I don't think it should be presumed that you have a noise gate. Now that MXR Noise Clamp is $90 brand new. So let's say you go out and you buy any boutique distortion pedal, a JHS, a Wampler. Those pedals are $200. Are you also going to lay out $90 for a noise gate? I mean, maybe. If you're like me and you own, who knows, 100, not distortion pedals. I have 20 distortion pedals. But say you own 100 pedals, you're like, yeah, I need a noise gate. If you're playing out, you almost certainly need a noise gate. But if you're just playing at home and you want one distortion pedal, how much noise it puts out may be a factor for you. And for me, it's a sliding scale, because the thing is, all distortion pedals produce noise. They don't all produce the same amount of noise. If you want to get a pedal and set it so that it is as quiet as humanly possible, more power to you. Record your own video. What I do is set the pedal the way I like it. The point isn't whether I can make a pedal quiet. It's whether producing the sound I want, does it produce too much noise? So I'm going to go through my 10 pedals here and just show you how much difference there is in the noise that this produces and the effect that the noise gate has. But I'll give you a spoiler, it kills the noise. And if that's really all you're interested in, yes, you can absolutely do that. But I won't be doing that for my videos because that's not my thing. And here is my distortion pedal board. As you can see, I've got 10 distortion pedals ranging in price from $38 for the Dark Matter as a store demo to $300 for the Big Joe Stompbox Company Empire. They produce a range of gain, a range of tones, but they all produce noise. So the way I have this set up is my output is going into the front of my noise clamp. The noise clamp in every noise suppression pedal I've seen, it's like an effects loop. You send the send through the pedals. The pedals are simply hooked up in series. It goes from the Angry Charlie over here to the MXR Dookie drive, out of the flat iron back to the return on the noise clamp, and then from there out to my amplifier. So you can probably hear in the background I have a guitar plugged in. I'm not playing it, it's just idling, and there is a little bit of hum. Even though it has humbuckers, this is not a very clean electrical environment. Again, this is not a studio, so you have my house lights, you have the lights I'm using for the video, all of the wiring for the camera, etc., etc. So you get a little bit of background hum. Now, every one of these pedals is dialed in to the sound I like. I did not attempt to go through and make them sound either noisy or quiet. I dialed them in until I went, yeah, that sounds good to me. And then I just see how much noise they produce. So I'm just going to turn them on one by one, starting with the Boss Blues Driver. Okay, a little bit of background hum. I don't find that particularly obnoxious, but it is there. The Boss DS1 Distortion, still probably the most common distortion pedal in existence. Okay, more hum. The Big Joe Stompbox Empire, the B side, which is my favorite side. Okay. The Angry Charlie from JHS Pedals. The MXR Dookie drive. I am continually impressed by this Dookie drive. I think it sounds fantastic, and you can hear even compared to these other distortion pedals, it has very little noise. The TC Electronic Dark Matter. The Rev G3. The Rev pedals are super popular because people say it sounds the most like the preamp on the Rev amplifiers, the name of which is escaping me right now. As you can hear, there's a ton of noise on that. Now if I turn the gain all the way down, the noise is less, but it's still there. The Tone City Wild Fro. And that's with the more gain switch on, and the gain at about 10. So, hum, not obnoxious. The PG-14. What I find really fascinating about this is it's really stark when listening to the other pedals. Not only does it produce hum, but the hum is a completely different tone than the other pedals. And finally, the Flat Iron Fuzz, which produces also a lot of hum. So, of the pedals on the board, the Blues Driver, the MXR Dookie Drive, the Dark Matter, and the Wild Fro are the only ones whose hum level is what I consider an acceptable level. The others, if you want to reduce the hum, you engage the noise clamp or a noise gate. And all that does is it drops your noise threshold. Here, instant silence. So even the noisiest pedals, okay, there's enough hum in this that it gives you just a little bit. Flat iron. And the PG-14. The trigger has to do with when the clamping effect comes down. So for some of these, I would just go with Paul Gilbert's recommended noise gate, which is turning off the pedal when you're through playing. However, if you're going to be playing at home and you leave your pedal on, understand this is what you get. So there you go. That's 10 distortion pedals, the amount of noise they make both with and without a noise suppressor. And yes, maybe the point of this is you should go out and buy a $90 noise suppressor. There's probably cheaper ones on the market. I didn't look into any of the mass-produced Chinese pedals. But for me, for doing these videos, I will continue to not use a noise suppressor because I think how much noise a pedal makes is a factor. So, if that puts you off, I understand. Thank you for checking out the channel, and I will see you around. But I hope that if you're a home player that you will stick with me, and we'll continue looking at pedals. I will discuss how much noise they make, and we will look at their other features. So thank you for joining me. If you find this interesting, then please subscribe. I'm Reed. This has been Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania.